Welcome. This is my Soul Tribe. Thank you for joining me here, Jay, on Wednesdays. Thank you for, especially those are first timers, very warm welcome. Just as a way of introduction, my name is Jay Chodagam. I've been a meditation practitioner for over 20 years. I've been a monk for 18 years with the Raj Yoga tradition. And I have brought my practice here onto the Insight Timer platform a few years ago, and we started doing these lives at the beginning of the pandemic. We haven't missed a beat since March of 2020, and somebody noted last week that I have done 91 weeks non-stop, and it's just an accomplishment. I feel that we've all been holding each other, we've been supporting each other. Thank you so much for being part of the Soul Tribe. So now when I say Soul Tribe, I just want you all to know that I have a circle on this app. It's called Meditate with Jay, and that's a great place for us to continue having conversations through the week. I come live on Wednesday evening, 6 p.m. Pacific, and also on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific. But the rest of the week we can have a conversation, very active community of my kindred spirits. So I invite you to join Meditate with Jay, the circle on this app. Also, I mentioned 91 weeks we have been going. So all of those sessions are recorded. As is this one, it's being recorded. And I publish it on my YouTube channel after we're done. So it's about a couple of days later. I take time for editing and putting some nice intro, outro music and everything. And it goes out usually by the weekend. Okay, so now if you want to follow me there, it's youtube.com/jchodagam. So that's how you see me there. Now, in terms of the flow, let's talk about that, especially if you're here for the first time. So my Wednesday nights are about 15 minutes of breath work. I'll teach you about 4 techniques of breath work. And 15 minutes of it is the meditation on the topic we're here to talk about. And then we're officially done with the set 30 minutes. And then I stay around and I open it up for questions, comments, anything else you all want to talk about. So that's the general flow. By about 45 minutes, we should be completely done. But the official set is really the first 30 minutes of what I just described. I want you to know that I will not be following the comments, the chat, unless something, radical happens, like you get, we lost the audio, the video, then I, looking to see the thing, because I cannot be having my train of thought and guiding you through this very profound experience, which you, especially here for the first time, you're going to experience it today. And be also watching the constant stream of conversation that's going on. But if you're welcome to continue having the conversation with each other as a way, but I just note that I'm not watching that, because I just need to be focused on making sure that you all have the most profound, transformative experience today. And that's my responsibility to deliver that. And I can only be focused on one thing. And I actually encourage you to not multitask. I mean, that's just how you can really completely mess up the brain. And the brain is not meant for multitasking. You think you're multitasking, as what you're really doing is you're doing very fast switching. That's how neuroscience, if you understand it, you're switching between focusing on one thing and another thing. And that's actually counterproductive for our ability to become present, concentrated, and deeply connected with the self. All right? So I'm going to stay true to my practice, and I will just focus on taking you to this deep experience. So with that said, I will open it up for questions at the end. And so even if you think you've posted a question for me, I want you to go ahead and repost it at the end. So that way I'm actually watching the chat and I'm actually looking at it and commenting and replying to it. All right. So is the flow, my friends. How does that sound from everything's perspective, from a flow, from what you're looking for and everything? Yeah, sounds good. Give me a quick thumbs up before we completely dive in. I'll be having you closing your eyes and I will have you go into the breathwork practice. And today we're going to do something called belly breathing. And in this practice, I actually want you to put one palm, the left palm on your belly, the right palm on your chest. And I want you to close your eyes or downshift your gaze if you're not comfortable completely closing your eyes. And I want you to take in deep breaths, and I want you to observe as you're breathing into the belly, it is the abdomen, the lower arm. The lower palm is what is rising and collapsing. The upper palm stays stationary. Let's do an even rhythm of 5 inhale and a count of 5 exhale. And as you're inhaling and exhaling, I want you to please do this through the nostril for this part of the exercise. Unless I otherwise instruct you, inhalation and exhalation is happening through the nostrils. This is the most natural built mechanism for us to automatically. There are three things happening when you're breathing in through the nostrils. You're filtering the air, you're moistening the air, and you're also warming up the air. So there's great benefit when you breathe in through the nostrils. And likewise, as you're breathing out through the nostrils, you're letting go. You're completely releasing what the body does not need, which comes out as a warm breath. And in this process of inhaling and exhaling, your breath is becoming a bridge between your body and your brain. So allow this rhythm to become nice and even, making sure you're breathing deep into the belly. Think of the lungs to be like an inverted tree. So there's the trunk, the trachea that brings in the air, and then as it goes into both the lungs, there are bronchial channels. They're like arteries that go spread out and taking the air to the different parts of the lung. And at the very tips, like the twigs of the tree, there is something called bronchioles. Very thin cavities through which the air is flowing, which is actually where the exchange of air is happening. The oxygen and the carbon dioxide exchange is happening with the tissues of the lung and into the bloodstream. So as you're breathing in, making sure that each of these bronchioles are getting all the air that they need for maximum rejuvenation. And this breath is a bridge between the divine and the self. This is pranayama. Pranayama, prana, the life force. Niyama, the exercise, the rules, the conditions with which we have this exchange of prana, life force, that revitalizes, that nourishes, that helps our body grow. And in this exchange of this energy in and out of the body, we use these techniques, these ancient techniques from thousands of years ago in India, which teach us about retention, elongation, and manipulation. Now, I want you to slowly begin to extend the exhale. We're breathing in still through the nostrils for a count of 5. And this time as we are exhaling, we want to slightly elongate it for a count of 7. Inhale through the nostrils for 5. And exhale for a count of 7. Inhale for 5. And exhale for 7. After this next inhale for 5 and exhale for 7, I want you to add a bandha or a hold for 8. 7, exhale and hold for a count of 8 with empty lungs. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 7. And hold for 8. Inhale for 5. Hold for 7. Exhale for 7. And hold for 8. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 7. And hold for 8. Let's do this one last time. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 7. And hold for 8. And now let's return back to normal. 5 in and 5 out, even breathing. Making sure that you're still breathing into the belly and not into your chest. And breathing into the belly activates the parasympathetic nervous system. This is your rest and rejuvenate part of your autonomous nervous system. But you breathe shallow, you're opening up your chest. That's actually activating the opposite, the sympathetic nervous system, which is response for stress. We don't want that. Five in and 5 out. Now in this next exercise, we're going to do something called Vastrika. In Vastrika, you will do the exhalation. The focus is on the exhalation. And it'll be like the sniffing of a dog. It looks like this. Eyes closed at all times. Eyes in pranayama are always desensitized, closed. And the focus is, the attention is on the hearing. Making sure that the instructions that have been given are actually being executed by us. So it looks like this. So it's like the sniffing of a dog. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to do 3 rounds of it together. So I will ask you to start with taking an inhale into the belly, 3/4 of a breath out, exhale through the nostrils again, and now let's go to the first round of Vastrika. Take a break, and making sure that if you're doing this right, you should notice that your belly is flapping. You're using the muscles in the diaphragm to do this controlling of this exhalation, such comes out as a sharp burst. And making sure that your rest of your body, your shoulders are not bobbing, your neck is not going forward and backwards, your head is not tilted, everything is absolutely straight. So imagine if your spine was like a necklace of pearls, a string of pearls. It's absolutely straight, because each of the chakras, the energy centers that are taking in, we're going to be moving the energy through the different energy centers in the body, and we want to make sure that they're aligned and not distorted, not twisted, not bent in any way. And also I want to make sure that you all are either seated, or you could also be doing this lying down, but I do not want you to be doing this standing up, because you could get lightheaded when you do these intense pranayama exercises, and you might even fall, so please do not attempt this whilst standing up. Alright, let's do a second round. I want you taking a deep inhale into the belly, 3/4 of breath out, and second round of Vastrika. And take a break. One of the techniques to do this Vastrika, do any of pranayama exercises right, is to make sure that the bridge of your forehead is not pointed up. If you can have it slightly looking down, sort of a sign of humility as well. That is the right posture for you to be opening up your neck, allowing the air to flow nice and free down into your lungs, deep into your abdomen. Making sure that there's no muscles that are tightened when you're not doing any exercise. Make sure that they're all relaxed. Now let's go in for the third and the final round of Vastrika. I want you taking a deep inhale, again into the belly. 3/4 of breath out, and third and final round of Vastrika. Our pranayama exercises. I just want to go back to the natural 5 in and 5 out, or 5 in and 7 out, whatever feels natural to you. Just allowing our attention to be in the region of the third eye, right behind where the eyebrows meet. The eyes closed, and just feel into the experience that you've created just in this last 15 minutes of breathwork. Notice how you feel different. Notice the shift in your state of being. Your mind may have become calmer. Your breathing may have become deeper. You may be feeling a sense of lightness in your entire body. Such is the power of pranayama. And as you're preparing to go into the meditation, breathwork, pranayama is a powerful way to initiate that sense of centeredness. The mind is otherwise like a monkey that wants to keep jumping from one branch to the next. We have a hard time actually controlling that monkey by using activity in the mind, trying to force it with other thoughts instead. The easy leverage, the easy connection we have to the brain, which actually helps to calm this monkey mind, is the control of breath, prana. As we control the breath, we begin to automatically control the mind. And as we control the mind, we're also regulating the body. If you were to hook yourself up right now, you'll be noticing your blood pressure has reduced. Your heart rate has become nice and even. And the secretion of hormones in your glands reach an optimal state. All of it by using this powerful technique of controlling the diaphragm. Yes, I'm also seeing a higher oxygen level indeed. And you can feel it. You can just feel it by your sense of vitality. If you just drop into the experience of what is your body telling you? The body is one of the greatest meters, the gauges, devices. It's constantly giving us feedback only if we slow down to pay attention and listen to what it's saying. And as we transition into the topic for today, the art and the practice of being yourself, notice that this is a form of an art. And there isn't just one kind of artist in the world, one way of becoming an artist. There is above all a need to articulate your own source of being so you'll recognize the source and know who you are. How could you be an artist if you didn't explore your own inner life? There is something in the human being I would call, in the most general terms, a need to transcend the corporeal being and become a person identified by his or her individuating qualities. As a poet once put it, we must create a system or be enslaved by another man's. You have to practice being yourself and not merely exist as a number in a world of billions of numbers. The creative gift has very complex origins. You're accumulating and digesting experience, trying to discover its meaning, instead of stuffing it into a closet and moving on to whatever happens to you next. Every experience you have is a lesson in how to live for the next one. And if you never learn anything from the experience of the past, you never mature, either as a person or as an artist. When you were born with more or less an empty vault. Perhaps the first experiences are even before the actual birth in the womb, and the vault begins to fill with jewels or painful memories. Each profound memory, each profound experience is stored in there. And even each of the disasters are stored in there, not as a wound, but as a warning. And you have to learn to recognize the return of the same dilemma you've been through before. You have to look at the tag and the price. Different kinds of memories enter into this making the self. But among those, there are a few absolutely central memories. They may be traumatic, but they are the crystallization of the creative person's treasure house. In a sense, all creativity is a process of giving meaning to what is on a universal scale meaningless. The plant and the poet and the gardener collect this disparate, disorganized raindrops, sun rays, passing birds. It makes something formal. Creativity gives form to what is in nature ambiguous, suggestive. Language wasn't there at the beginning. It was created after people had gone through all sorts of experiences and needed to become expressive in order to give meaning to life. And as an artist, you are a representative human being. You have to believe that in order to give your life over to that effort to creating something of value, and know that you're not doing it only to satisfy your own impulses or needs. There is a social imperative. If you solve your problems and speak of them truly, you are of help to others. That's all. And that is a moral obligation. What gives you a sense of self-worth? A positive self-view, or feeling good about yourself. A general belief that you are good and a worthwhile human being is one of the most powerful emotional process for a sense of self-worth. This positive self-view emerges from self-esteem, self-acceptance, and self-worth. And the reason why all of these words, self-esteem, self-acceptance, and self-worth, start with the self, because that's where the work is, within. And this view of yourself does not just affect how you feel. They also affect your thoughts, your behavior. Like when you feel bad about yourself, you unconsciously act in ways that end up confirming your belief. For example, if you feel like you're not doing a good job with your relationship, a good job financially or career, then you stop pursuing these goals with the intensity required to reach them. So in other words, it's a form of self-sabotage. So how do you break this cycle? How do you change the patterns of your life and promote the positive self-view? The most important thing is to figure out your needs. When you don't feel good about yourself, it's easy to think that there's something fundamentally wrong with you. It feels deeply rooted and unchangeable. In reality, though, you may have failed to clarify exactly what makes you feel like a person that could love. People tend to feel badly about themselves when they feel powerless to get their needs met. So you can start this process by figuring out what your needs are. But be careful. It's important that you don't start demanding the people in your life to fulfill your every want. Rather, clarify for yourself what you need. What people, places, or experience are must-haves for you to live a fulfilling life? What aspect of your life, if removed, would leave you without a sense of purpose? It's important to really think about this carefully and try not to consider others' needs right now. If you're having a hard time figuring out your needs, just reflect on times in your life when you weren't thriving. And ask yourself, what was missing at that time? Once you have an inkling of what your needs are, try to clarify them. Just keep them in mind and don't stray too far from living a life that is authentically yours. You may ask, but what if your needs aren't being met? What if you feel that they aren't being respected? And you have to start thinking about how you will communicate your needs and what the changes you need to make in your life to start creating a life that meets your needs. To realize that standing up for yourself and living a life that is authentically yours generates a positive self-view. But this could be terrifying. It could be terrifying to put yourself first. Probably you've never done that before. But believe me, it is worth it. And remember to forgive yourself We've all made mistakes. We all have done some things that we're not proud of. Almost every one of us has said something hurtful, forgotten an important event, or betrayed someone that you love. You have to remember that your mistakes do not define you. Those actions do not make you good or bad as a person. If you learn and grow from them, then they make you a better person. To develop positive self-use, you must keep in mind that everyone makes mistakes. Forgive yourself and give yourself credit for trying not to make the same mistake again. And each of us has quirks. Celebrate your quirks. Each of us is one of a kind. And when you cherish your eccentricities and celebrate your flaws, you begin to develop a deep love for yourself, just as you are. Instead of focusing on all the things that are wrong with you, celebrate. Celebration enables you to derive a deep satisfaction from being uniquely you. And while celebrating your quirks, don't forget to keep growing. Keep your eyes and ears open to the people you trust. Listen when they tell you that you have work to do on yourself. It doesn't mean that it makes you a bad person. It just means you're human. People you care about will be the ones that will help you distinguish between flaws that need acceptance and flaws that need fixing. This is important because it keeps us from sliding out of self-love and into complacency. And remember, by changing your view, you will change your life. I want you to bring your palms together at your heart center in prayer position. And I want you to rub your palms against each other. Your palms are energy vortexes. And as you rub them against each other, you're kindling life force or chi. And when you feel a nice warm ball of chi being ignited between your palms, I want you to go ahead and apply them to both your eyes, cupping one eye with one palm. And bless yourself. Let this chi soak into your being. May clarity reign in my mind. May love reign in my heart. May health reign in my entire body. Take your palms and put it as if you're sending out a blessing facing outwards towards the world. of a person, a place, or people that could use a blessing right now, that could use some light. And as if there was a beacon of light emerging from the center of each palm, radiating towards that person, people, or place, send them a blessing that may their obstacles be removed. May their struggle end. May they have the strength to stand up for what is right. May have the calmness in their mind to think clearly, to navigate through this situation that they find themselves in. May this light give them a boost of their wellness. May they experience well-being. Now hold the planet Earth in your vision. Imagine this light that's radiating out of your palms engulfs and covers the entire planet with a radiant white light. May the entire planet, Mother Earth, with all of its creatures, be healthy, be safe, be kind. And as we're sending this light, we become a conduit of receiving light from the Supreme Being, the divine source of energy, divine life force. Like the Supreme Sun, it gives this light unconditionally. And that light comes as I soak into it, as I bask in this light, as I am nourished in this light. That light flows to me, through me, and out, and I become a channel to redirect this light towards this object of my blessing. And bringing your palms back to the heart center in prayer position. Let's take a moment of gratitude for this moment, for this experience that we've just had, this gift, the gift of wellness. And acknowledge for yourself, how do you feel right now? And how is it different from when you walked in here about 45 minutes ago? Could share your experience of how you're feeling right now in one word, what would that be? And I invite you to please share that one word in the comments. And I also invite you to please consider making a donation. It's important. It helps me to continue doing my work freely, without any labels, without any restrictions, without any gateways. Let's see. Aware, peaceful, better, relaxed, hopeful, forgiveness, peace, grounded, calm, awareness, bright, thanks, more calm, generous, relax, intuitive, peaceful. Wow, wow, wow. That's beautiful. That's wonderful. So good to see this massive transformation. Serene, released, grounded, optimistic, strong, more self-loving, transformed. Wow, gratitude indeed. So folks, this is the gift you've given yourself by taking this time to be here, to be in this soul tribe, to be amongst kindred spirit, to make yourself a priority. And clearly you've reaped the benefit of that commitment you made towards yourself, putting yourself as your number one priority. Thank you so much for this healing. Yes, you're very welcome, Maggie. I'm feeling very positive now about things, feeling interconnected. Matt says he's in love. Yes, thank you all for being here. So I'll invite you to go ahead and ask any questions that you might have. Go ahead and post anything. And like I said, if you did ask a question already, I was not paying attention to the chat because I was very focused on being true to my experience, which I was sharing with you. And go ahead and repost it if you've asked a question before, and I'm happy to field them. Do you have the name of the music? Yes, Kristen, this is my friend and one of my favorite musicians in the world. His name is Niall Phoenix. And Niall Phoenix is based in, I'm going to type it for you so you can look him up. In Melbourne, Australia. And he's a very, very long time, 40 years, a meditator, and clearly his music reflects the spirit which we are trying to embody here, invoking that state of being completely in unity with the Supreme Being. Matt says that's where you're from. Wonderful. Thank you so much. The way you pasted made me feel more connected. Thank you, Mudita. I appreciate that. Yes, thank you for the donations. And also I want to mention that I have one-on-one mentoring, whether it's life mentoring, career mentoring, or just your wellness mentoring. You can find my offerings on this Insight Timer platform. You click on the live logo at the bottom right corner of your screen, and it'll pull up the option for mentoring and workshops, and you can find more information about that, whether you want to do a one-off session, pack of 3 or pack of 6. And that's a great way for us to dive deep into any personal work that you want me to help you with. Sherry's asking, can you put this on the circle? Yes, I will record. As I said, I'm recording all of my sessions. And by the way, if you don't know what circle, if those of you joined just now or after I made the initial announcement, I have a circle on this app. It's called Meditate with Jay, and it's just a thriving, wonderful community. My soul tribe, as I call it. We've been together since the beginning of the pandemic, and 91 weeks later, we are still together. We're still supporting each other, and we're going strong. We haven't missed a single week. And so I invite you to join that circle if you're already not a part of it. And yes, I do post all of my sessions. I record them, put it on my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/jchodagam if you want to go ahead and hit subscribe there. And you can go visit the 90-something episodes that I've recorded. And it's all posted there. And then I will post the link to that in the circle, so that way you don't miss these sessions. You can go and revisit them. And for those of us who cannot join because of time zone reasons, etc., there is an opportunity for you to catch up on these sessions. Each one of them is on a different topic, and the circle, by the way, is a good place for you to go and nominate any suggestions for future topics, and I'm happy to look into that. Yes, thank you all for being here. Thank you for the donations. They help me to keep my work, the recordings, the editing, the marketing, the audio quality, buying music, and this new equipment. As you noted, some of you who've been attending, today was a complete step up. It was a game changer. I bought brand new equipment, and I hope the sound quality was audibly different. And your donations help me to continue doing these kind of upgrades and bringing you the best of experiences. This is my full-time job, so it's not like I have something else that I do or Insight Timer pays me. No, I appreciate your contributions here. I'm new to using this app. What is the circle? So Ricardo, when you go to the circle, so when you open up the app, at the bottom you'll actually see something that looks like a ring. So in the menu at the bottom, you'll see something that looks like a home, etc. And when you go click on the circle, and it'll give you the option to go join any number of circles. There's lots of circles on this app. And if you type in the word, which I'm about to type for you here, it's meditate with J, that will take you to the circle of my soul tribe, right? And you can join that, and that's where I'll share the recordings, take any suggestions, questions, comments. We have a very active, thriving community. It's over 400 people right now. So I invite you to join that. Yes. Sherry saying, very much I can see and hear the difference. I pray you are blessed beyond immigration. Immigration or imagination? I'm not sure what you're saying, but either way, yeah, beyond immigration. Hopefully we can live in the world without borders and not have to deal with immigration as we fly from one country to the next. By the way, I loved traveling before the pandemic. This in 2019, I went to 23 countries in just 1 year, 61 countries in all, and I used to host retreats, in-person retreats all over the world, 4 continents, 4 seasons of the year. So thank you. Persephone. Is that your real name or is it a nickname? I love that name. Persephone. The sound quality is cosmic. I was with you the whole time. Superb. Fantastic. Thank you for that. So tell me if that's your real name or is that moniker that you've adopted. Yes, unity for all humankind. Indeed, Deb. Yes, this construct of the borders is just really something that it's a man-made thing, and somehow we've given so much importance. We all begin to believe that's a real thing, but it's somebody just one day decided they're going to call a piece of land theirs and exclude other people from entering or needing some sort of a promissory note, an acceptance letter to be able to pass through a border. And we don't know the difference between a time when this whole world was one planet, one for all of humanity and all creatures of Mother Nature to be able to roam freely. And these things are causing a lot of stress and disparities of where some resources are being cordoned off, have been accumulated in certain parts of the world, and some other people don't have access to it. But you know what? Mother Nature has a way of being the great equalizer. It finds ways to break through these walls and these artificial boundaries that we created. And it has a way of evening things out and level the playing field. You could call it the great reckoning, or karma as they call it in my part of the world. Karma comes full circle, my friends. It doesn't know whether you are white, black, brown. It doesn't know how rich or poor you are. All it knows is justice. It knows equilibrium, and all returns to a state of equilibrium. So Persephone is the name of a queen goddess of death, a moniker. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. And somebody asked a question earlier while I was talking, do you ever get mad? I cannot picture angry, Virginia. So I think I have become less prone to bouts of anger and rage. I don't think I've arrived. By no means have I become enlightened. You don't see a halo around my head, do you? So it's a work in progress, but there's a tangible difference. If I were to go and examine my brain, I probably would see a difference in how my brain structure is today versus how it was 20 years ago. And there's actually scientific evidence that shows that as you meditate regularly, you develop parts of the brain which actually give you a better sense of self-control, better sense of compassion, and being able to catch yourself, that space between the stressor and your response to it. So you don't react as much, you're responding to situations. Indeed. All right, folks. Now we've gone way past the half hour I was supposed to be officially. This set was supposed to be about 30 minutes, and we're at 1 hour right now. But I do deeply appreciate your presence, your participation, your donations, your comments, your suggestions, everything. All of that means a lot to me. That's what makes me come alive, to be of service to you all, to make you feel your best self. So until I see you all again, I'll be doing a session on Sunday, and it's 9 a.m. on Sunday mornings. Of course, I have lots of recorded sessions on this app. I think close to 100 sessions on Insight Time, or close to 100 sessions on my YouTube channel. Or if I see you at one of my workshops or my one-on-one mentoring, either which way, I wish you stay strong, be happy, go shine your light, and be well.